Hello, friends and family of the Real Family Podcast.
Woo! Woo! Hello.
It is my turn this week, and I apologize to both of you. I know you hate long movies, and I think I picked one of the longest movies we could cover, and we're going to try to not cover, try to cover it in a short amount of time.
I don't know how.
I don't know how either. There's so much many moving parts of this film. So this week we're covering Interstellar. It is the 2014 film starring Matthew McConaughey, Jessica Chastain, Anne Hathaway, a young Timothee Chalamet, Mackenzie Foy, Matt Damon, Michael Caine, John Lithgow, Topher Grace. It's star-studded cast, directed by Christopher Nolan. You know him from Dark Knight Rises, like that series. Oppenheimer, the new upcoming Odyssey film, which is supposed to be longer than this film. How did you... Carrie, this was your first time watching it. Christie, this was
my third watch. I had watched originally, and I was it was very overwhelming.
It's a very, very overwhelming.
Yes. So then I watched a second time to try and make sense of what I had just seen. And it's good. And I'll say the third watch, it's getting exponentially better each time I watch it.
You catch so many things.
Yes, it's true. It's absolutely true.
Well, I tried rewatching it today before we recorded, but my Paramount just kept dropping off. So I kind of wanted to get a second rewatch in, especially before we recorded, but that did not happen. So
what were your reactions though?
Well, like prior to watching the movie, so I got to go into this here. Like, I had just gone and protested that day. It was on a Sunday, and it was really cold.
Yeah.
Really cold out. But I came home, and I just wanted, like, a feel-good, like, kind of like save the world, maybe cry type of movie. And I kind of got that a little bit from Interstellar's trailer, so I thought, why not? So after protesting, I came home, took a nice hot shower. Well, I stopped off at Jersey Mike's first to grab a sandwich.
As you should.
Yeah.
What's your order? What's your Jersey Mike's order?
Number 8.
Oh my God, same.
Yes, I love the number 8.
Mine depends on the day. I like the what is it? The original Italian, and then the Philly cheese. No.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
Just me.
Yep.
So, yeah, I came home, took a nice hot shower, had a couple cups of coffee. I smoked a little joint, and
Boy,
man,
was that a good choice?
Well, it kind of was, because I was just riding an emotional high at that time. And I thought, well, about 4:30, I settled in. I knew I was going to pause a couple times to get to my sandwich later on when I was getting hungry and whatnot. But first, I got a little derailed, and I watched a South Park episode. So I got my laughter in. So yay!
Okay.
And it was the one where Pam Bondi was shit all over her nose, which is fitting since she just had her little hearing yesterday. But anywho, I digress. So what I thought was going to be a feel-good, kind of save-the-world movie that I might cry a little bit, kind of like what I needed, not to mention it was 3 hours long. So what I needed the most was a break from social media. So I got that. So that was pretty exciting. And yeah, I did not get that kind of movie. I didn't cry at all. It was, we'll kind of get into that, but it wasn't what I expected at all. So with that being said,
do you think the trailer misled you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I don't remember the trailer, honestly.
I don't either. I was also 13 when this movie came out.
I watched it a couple times to kind of psych myself up for it. So when I came home and I was just like, I need something to, save the world and, like, feel good. And
I mean, they saved humanity.
Well, yeah.
I would say it, yeah.
But I didn't.
I mean, not the world as in Earth.
Right.
We done messed up on that one, so.
So, anywho, but it was okay. But we can talk more about that as we get going.
We can dive into it.
Okay, so you were 13 when it came out?
Yeah.
Did you see it? When did you first see it?
So I didn't see this in theaters. We just didn't go to the movies that often. I heard about this big film, Interstellar. It was this huge hyped up film and never went to go see it. And then I think it was like senior year of high school or freshman year of college, one of the two.
Okay.
So it would have been like 2019, 2020. And there's not much to do in 2020. So it was like,
True.
it was probably
True.
during COVID. But yeah, I first watched this and it's so magnificent. It's such a, to me, this is such a, I think this is Christopher Nolan's best film.
You got that the first time around watching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I did have to do a rewatch after maybe like a month later, I did a rewatch. But the first time around, I was like, this is incredible. Like the sound mixing was amazing. The score.
The score is amazing.
The score's
I caught more of the score this time than I ever have in the past.
a lot. Okay, so Hans Zimmer did the score.
Yes.
You know him from, did the Batman series with Christopher Nolan. He also did Pirates of the Caribbean. He's done, mainly if you can think of it, he has done it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people widely regard this as his best score.
I watched an interview where he said this was his favorite.
He
said his favorite was either this or one he has not done yet.
Yeah, but if you actually sit down and listen to the score, like not watching the film, it is amazing. It's so beautiful. I think though the score like elevates the film more.
It adds, there were so many times when it added to the tension of what was happening.
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to highlight a couple things first. I chose this film mainly because of how amazingly it was so good. Since I'm a sound person, this has amazing sound mixing, amazing score, obviously we just talked about. It was only nominated for 5 Oscars. It only won 1, and it was for Best Visual Effects. It was not nominated for Best Picture.
I'm surprised by that.
So this was the year that Birdman won.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I remember it being out and winning. I never watched it. You want to talk about an art?
I think I started watching it and I'm like, what?
Because that's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton. It's a weird movie.
It is weird.
I was going to say that's an artsy fartsy one if I've ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this was also going up against American Sniper, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. And this did not get nominated.
Out of those, The Imitation Game's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
I love it because that falls right into my genre,
Yes.
The Imitation Game. So I will watch that one on repeat. But this one's good.
It's good. I arguably could think that this was one of the most snubbed films of Academy history.
I can see that.
Because they only won for visual effects. They didn't win original score. They didn't win sound mixing.
Were any of the actors?
Yes, that was my question. Matthew McConaughey?
Eddie Redmayne won Best Actor in a Leading Role that year, and looks like no one was nominated from this film. So you had Steve Carell, Bradley Cooper, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Michael Keaton were all nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role.
Oh,
and
then, I think Matthew McConaughey was robbed in that case.
Oh,
he should have at least been nominated for crying out loud. Yeah.
He did so good in this film.
Yeah.
And then Best Actress in a Leading Role was Julianne Moore that year. You also had Marianne Cotillard? I don't know. Felicity Jones, Rosamund Pike, and Reese Witherspoon were nominated. So looking at this, it looks like no one from none of the actors or actresses won for this. It didn't even win Best Writing. It wasn't even nominated for Best Writing of a Screenplay.
Wow.
It was only nominated for Best Original Score, Best Production Design, Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Visual Effects. And it only won Visual Effects.
I mean, the visual effects were good. They were really good.
Oh, yeah. I could argue that this is one of the most well-mixed films, and I obviously think the score got snubbed insanely.
IMDb has it a top-rated movie number 18.
Yeah.
It has been considered one of the top 50 films of all time. I am currently on its Wikipedia. Hold on. So it premiered at the TCL Chinese Theater. It was released then November 5th. And then it had a budget of $165 million. It got $681 million worldwide during its original theatrical run and $773.8 million worldwide with the subsequent re-releases, making it the 10th highest grossing film of 2014.
Huh.
So it is, and a lot of like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, they all widely regard this as one of the better films that came out that year.
Yeah. And you consider this his best, Christopher Nolan's best work?
Yes, I can definitely say that this is Christopher Nolan's best work,
including Oppenheimer.
Because
I would pick Oppenheimer over this, but that's because I'm into the based on a true story thing.
Yeah.
Well, and I also have a soft spot for Memento. Have you seen Memento?
I love Memento.
Like once.
Okay.
Oh, so he was just producer in Inception.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have like I think just the cast in general is so good in this.
Well, I think that basically from what I've seen in actors talking, if Christopher Nolan calls, you go.
You go.
You don't even ask what it's for.
You
just show up and you do whatever he tells you to.
Yeah. And
so he can get anybody he wants.
He can. I think this is real. I think this is though
like he directed Inception too. Okay, sorry. I just had him listed as a producer, but I'm like, wait a minute, I thought he. But yeah, I liked Inception.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Oppenheimer has some good like sound effects, like when the atomic bomb goes off.
It's amazing.
And it's just pure silence. I think Oppenheimer itself took a lot of what Christopher Nolan did in this film and brought it in for Oppenheimer. So I think this was a huge stepping stone for him as a director.
Because like the silence of the explosion in space mirrored the silence of the...
Well, and the interesting thing is every time the shots are not in the spaceship and you are outside of the spaceship itself, it's just pure silence.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it. That's just me. All right. Let's try to get into it. There's a lot of moving parts in this film.
A lot to go through.
So in excuse me, in the very beginning, I really thought I was going to like this movie because it looked like they were interviewing some of the characters as they were older, and it gave a documentary type vibe, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to really enjoy this. But that documentary interviewing vibe just was there in the beginning, and maybe a snippet like a little bit after that, but then it was gone, and I was sad about that.
Well, the one woman was Murph.
Yes. Yeah. And I got that.
Okay.
I thought we would get more.
The whole thing would be told in retrospect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. It's a good. This entire first sequence is a great foreshadowing of the rest of the film, because you get, this quick exposition from Murph and two of these older people who are talking about their time, being on Earth and living through basically a whole other new Dust Bowl type thing, and how they survived. And then you go straight into like the bookcases with the you have the books, the bookcase with the spaceships. It's so good. But we ended up going into, like, from these interviews to Matthew McConaughey having a dream because he was a test pilot for NASA to do all these testing things, and wakes up, and Murph, his daughter, and young Mackenzie Foy, and it's young Murph doing this. So do you guys know Mackenzie Foy's work?
What is she in?
She's in Breaking Dawn Part 1 or Part 2. She is the young kid in there.
And I think never seen Breaking Dawn.
What's Breaking Dawn?
It is a Twilight
series.
No, I've never seen it.
I think that is one of her biggest films.
I gave up on the Breaking Dawn movies after the third one.
I don't Twilight.
The Twilight films?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That's it.
Yeah,
yes.
She's in Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. So she's the kid that, like...
Renesmee or
Renesmee.
Oh, no.
But I think this is her biggest work. that she's done outside of Twilight.
Well, part of what she looks like a young Jessica Chastain.
She
The
does.
casting of the children into the adults
is so well
top
done.
tier.
So well done.
It is, yes.
But this is where Murph discusses the ghost in the house that is bothering her.
Yes.
And so Matthew McConaughey is like, just go back to bed. There's no ghost. He's being the scientific person in this. But during this time, we end up finding out that there's this thing called the blight that killed off all the farmlands. It's attacking different crops like wheat. We see later okra. But it hasn't affected corn yet. So you have all these corn farmers that are farming to keep all of these people alive. And considering that this film is supposed to take place in the near future, it is assumed that there are still billions of people on Earth, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because you still have your regular schools that are happening. You have farmers, you have military, all this stuff that seems more normal. Besides, like, well, I say military. They don't have military, but they have NASA. They've got a government and stuff still. So we end up seeing this conversation with Murph, Timothee Chalamet's character, and John Lithgow. Yeah, John Lithgow.
Yep.
I was like, that's the correct one. How they're talking about this ghost in the house still. There's, Timothee Chalamet, his character. I'm only going to say Timothee Chalamet.
I think his name's Tom, but
Tom.
You don't care, right?
No, I don't. It's Timothee Chalamet to me. I think that's an easier way to, like, keep track of everyone's selves. So, like, Timothee Chalamet, Tom, is telling her that there's no ghosts in the house. Ghosts aren't real. Being a big brother and stuff. And we see Matthew McConaughey take the kids, go, and they're supposed to go to, he's supposed to take them to school. All of a sudden, there's this drone that flies overhead, and they go and hack into it to take it down, and he steals a government drone.
I mean, it didn't seem like anybody was monitoring it, correct?
No, not well.
Apparently not. No. Okay.
And also at this scene, we figure out Murph is named after Murphy's Law, which is anything that can happen will happen. So, which is very telling of, I guess, later on in the film and what the film actually represents, where she's a major character. So then we see that, they're late to school. Matthew McConaughey gets in trouble for gets the comment of like, oh, are you just stealing stuff now, or whatever the comment was from the teacher and the principal. And then they say that Murph brought in a textbook that claimed that the Apollo missions were real, which were pre-Blight textbooks, and got into a physical fight with the kids because, this is the textbook. This is what she's grown up learning because Matthew McConaughey's this engineer. He worked with NASA for a while. And so it is said in the film that they only did the Apollo missions to bankrupt Russia to try to go to the moon. And I don't know how true that is. I think we did go to the moon. I'm going to be very controversial here.
By saying we went to the moon, you think you're being controversial?
Oh, yeah. There's so many people that think
there's people who think that. They're wrong.
Wrong.
I mean, we went to the moon. That's it.
Plain and simple.
If you think that's controversial, I'm sorry. You're wrong.
I haven't really gone down the whole moon rabbit. I know there's a rabbit hole that I could go down, like if we did land or not, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that we did land on the moon, though.
Yeah.
This comes into my favorite quote of the film, where Matthew McConaughey says, 2 numbers to measure your ass, but 1 measure to measure my son's future.
Yeah.
Which was a great quote, because we find out that kids are tested on if they are going to go to college later or not. And if they go to college, it is paid for by the government. And there's only a select few based off of grades and everything. And Tom did not get selected to be one of those kids going to college. He ends up being a farmer, which we end up seeing more later on in the film.
But I feel like, I mean, the argument was they need farmers more than they need the educated people, which is true in this future.
I feel like also educated people, though, are the people that are going to save.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
absolutely.
The farmers are like a quick solution. They're not a future, like, long-term solution for the rest of their life.
But it seemed like Tom was cool with it.
Oh, yeah.
Tom was like, oh, no, I want to just stay here and not do any of that.
And Tom's character is very much I'm comfortable here. I'm not going to change anything. Because
he's the opposite of his father.
Yes. And he's also the opposite of Murph. Murph is wanting to fix things and change things. And he wants to be in denial that all of these issues are happening and that, life is okay in his eyes.
But he's also comfortable staying where he's at and not being an explorer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he ends up, Matthew McConaughey ends up talking about how they were going to go to a baseball game and that was going to be her punishment. They get home. There's a noise upstairs that they hear. And it's the books that have fallen on the ground in specifically odd spacing. And Murph said, oh, it looks like Morse code. And, Matthew McConaughey's character, Cooper, I will say Cooper for him. He goes and he, brushes it off, thinks that it's fake. They go to the baseball game, and this is where we see how bad the dust actually is. Yeah. We're getting, Dust Bowl level dust storms, like dust storms you'd see in the desert, all these different things. And then they get home, and Murph didn't close her window. So this is where everything starts to pick up. The dust is what she assumes also in Morse code. And Matthew McConaughey, Cooper, says, it's not a ghost, it's gravity. And he drops a pen. But after sitting there all night, he sat there and looked at it. And he figures out that it's binary. And then he figures out what the translation is from binary to English and gets coordinates, where he goes and follows the coordinates. Murph goes and jumps in the car.
I called that, by the way. I'm like, she's in the truck.
She is in the truck.
Yeah.
She's hiding. I called that.
Going back to when he went up, and it was a beautiful shot of
the pen falling.
Not the pen falling, but when he went to close the window, it was just like, it was this...
The light hitting the dust perfectly.
It was a cloud of sparkling dust.
It was so great.
Yeah. And
then, so they follow the coordinates, and it leads them to this random place, and it's...
how long do we think they drove to get? I mean, because it was over into the night. So fortunately, they were close enough to...
I would assume that it was close because probably a state or two away.
Okay. It doesn't matter. I was just curious.
I mean, it's got to be obviously far enough to drive into the night, and Murph is passed out.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, she's going back and forth from that facility to this farm. When we get into the future, she's making that drive.
So it might also just be that he is sitting there trying to look at a, paper map and try to figure his way over there. So it could have taken longer.
You're right.
To get that.
GPS.
I know.
Yeah. You're right.
So then we find out that this fenced-in area is NASA, even though NASA had been a dissipated department from the government for years because of a failed mission that ended up causing outrage, but the government realized they need NASA in order to save Earth. So that's when we meet Dr. Brand, who is Anne Hathaway. And then I'm going to differentiate the Dr. Brands by Dr. Brand and Professor Brand. I think
okay.
That would be an easier way of doing that. And Professor Brand is Michael Caine. So this is where we meet Tars, the really creepy moving around robot that is a box and just can turn into anything you need.
I was when I first saw it, I'm like, is he talking to a vending machine? That was my first thought. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's a very interesting character, I should say. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Transformers.
Yes.
So
it's also a weird jolt into like what the story ends up becoming, because you are told this huge, like all of these bad things are happening and you are stuck in this one area, and then you, like, we see Cooper go and wake up to, you know, a robot standing like right across from him.
Well, and I think it's also like the juxtaposition of they have all this technology, but they have no food.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't eat a robot.
Yeah,
So
and a lot of it, they say that they are hiding a lot of their technology because they know that if a lot of money is going to NASA, then it's going to cause outrage with them. So that's why NASA is hidden away from people.
Kind of like Area 57.
Area 57? 51?
51.
No, hers is
6-7.
6-7.
6-7.
6-7.
I was gonna say hers is 6.
Area 51. Area 67. Area whatever.
So this is where we, Dr. Brand goes and takes, you know, Cooper to this area.
This is where all the stars are, right
all the stars.
Yep.
We go to a boardroom, and this is where, you know, we are meeting the people of this mission as well as everyone else that is behind NASA, which is not that many people. And Murph is there. Murph's alive. She's chilling with all of these random people. And so I think at this point, that's where we get Wes Bentley.
I don't. William Devane was in there. Do you know William Devane at all? Are you familiar with his work?
No, but there was the guy that was in the Hunger Games is in there.
Wes Bentley.
I think that is
he was Seneca Crane.
Yeah, that's Wes Bentley. And then you have David Gaiazzi, who is Romley, who we have throughout the film as well.
Okay.
I don't know who.
Well, I know William Devane from Knots Landing.
Oh.
That's how I know him.
Interesting.
Did you ever watch Knots Landing?
I never watched Knots Landing.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I have not seen any of these movies that he's in.
That's a shame.
I know, I'm so sorry.
No, it's...
But yeah, we get Wes Bentley, who is also Seneca Crane in The Hunger Games.
Yep.
You're getting
Michael Caine.
There. It's a huge group of just star-studded people.
It is.
And so Michael Caine, Professor Brand goes and takes Cooper around the facility, shows him around, and Cooper realizes that they are walking on what is going to be what NASA wants to be a spaceship, because it is this huge circular, you know, thing, like circular building that they think they can just take into space somehow.
Yeah.
Obviously that part's not shown in the film, but this is where Professor Brand goes and tells Cooper that the corn is dying. All of the plants are going to be gone. There's not going to be any food for anyone. So they need people to go and find viable planets, because the 12 astronauts that went out to go find viable planets have not sent any data to them. So they are trying to go, and they want a group of scientists to go and see if they can get this data, go and find these people on these different planets, these different scientists, and see if the data is good enough for people to leave. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is called the Lazarus mission. This is where they're trying to resurrect everything and try to resurrect Earth. So that, and if you know Lazarus is in, I think the Bible is supposed to
yes,
go.
That is correct.
That is correct. Is dies and comes back to life and is like resurrected from death, but there's like obviously issues with it. But this is where Professor Caine tells Cooper that there is a disturbance near Saturn, and you know there's the plan A, which is we're going to take this space station up into the air and we're going to live, you know, outside of Earth's stratosphere. We're going to do all this stuff. But then there's plan B, which is take 5,000 frozen embryos onto a spaceship and make a colony to ensure that, you know, Earth does survive. So their one mission is that they need to solve the problem of gravity in order to take the space station up into space so that there is gravity on this, this space station for Earth and for these people. So they go and they ask Matthew McConaughey to go and do this because he is a pilot. He can go and he can fly all these airplanes and that he is needed in order to save the Earth. And right off the bat, he is in for it. And Murph is pissed at him.
Well, he's leaving his kids. I mean, he's just like, I got the chance for an adventure, so I'm gonna ditch this.
I would say it's not even for adventure because there is a point where he's like, there is a point where Professor Brand says that his daughter's generation is going to be the one that dies off. And he loves Murph so much. And you can see the favoritism in this film, how much he loves her and cares for her compared to how he cares for Tom.
Yes.
And, he cares so much for, both of his kids, but mainly Murph, how he wants to make sure that they don't experience the things that have been building up for him and the anxiety that is built up for him. So he decides to do it to save their lives, not his life. And she doesn't realize it because she's also like 12 at the time, that this is a huge deal. And, she runs away, like lays in her bed, throws her watch onto the ground, doesn't forgive him, and just sits there crying as he goes and grabs his stuff, and says bye to Tom and bye to John Lithgow's character, which is his father-in-law, I think.
Yes.
And said, bye, peace out. I'll see you guys later. And Murph comes running out in tears, screaming for her dad and wanting to say goodbye. And this is where I cried the first time. Every time.
I think he does go in there with the intention of, I'm going to help save the planet for my kids. Is it realistic for him, as the scientist he is, to think that he was going to do that in their lifetimes?
I think he's also in denial about it.
Okay.
Because
as long as we agree on that.
No, I think he's definitely in denial about how he wanted to go. He's thinking to himself that this, I'll be back. It's okay. There's cryo sleep. We can see each other, all this stuff. And I think it was a lot of denial on his end, but also a way to reinforce to Murph that, hey, I'm not going to be gone that long. It's okay. Try to be positive about the situation to a kid who doesn't understand how bad the situation actually is.
Okay.
So he kind of lied to her.
He lied to her. And it's really, I think, we obviously see later it's very hard on her to understand how he lied to her, but it's so hard for her to think that her dad can do that, but he needed to do that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of back and forth on her end as a character. We cut right to from when he's leaving and Murph is crying. In the background, we hear, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we cut immediately to the plane. The ship, the plane taking off. No, the
That's
ship.
why I was like, there was no training, no run through. They just boarded up and said,
"Okay,
we got this."
My question is Anne Hathaway is a doctor who's now suddenly qualified to be an astronaut?
That's what I mean.
Question.
There was just
had to have been some sort of training that happened that we just didn't see.
Or there was training that happened previously for all the other scientists.
They were just trying to find the perfect pilot.
Because he's already trained in this.
Okay.
And they need someone to do it.
Okay.
Because, Anne Hathaway is a biologist in the film. So she's here so she must have been trained all her life because her father is the person that's running this program.
Right. I mean, I can understand her training in biology, but that doesn't qualify you to.
Oh yeah, no,
to
not
jump on a spaceship.
No, not and jump in G-force.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, they didn't have any prep or nothing. It was just like, yeah.
I think it's automatically assumed that they've already done this prep and that this is, this is the thing that they've been wanting to do all this time. And this is where the sound of the film it just goes quiet because you're in the spaceship and they go and they hit space and then the camera comes out and it is in space and it's just pure silence. I guess the juxtaposition between how chaotic Earth is to just how quiet and peaceful it is based off of just noise alone just blows my mind each time. And it's like the sense of peace that they're trying to find while also having to go on this really hard, anxiety-ridden mission to save the planet.
I mean, it's kind of weird, but like after, like midway through, and I may be jumping the gun a little bit, but it was just like, it's almost like he died and was like an angel looking down on everything that was going on. In my view, I'm like,
We can go through the theories on...
like, it was just like, because he saw his son grow up, he saw his grandkid, like, and he was witnessing all that at the same age he was when he left, and it was just, to me, it kind of was just,
It's mindfucky, isn't it?
it kind of is a little bit, because it's almost like I said, like, he's dead and he's an angel and he's overlooking a life that has gone on without him.
I mean, I could see that.
He's in another like dimension trying to save it.
It's like Lazarus. He died and comes back to life.
Yeah, so
No, there were people that threw that theory out online.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not
Oh.
alone in that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
there's-
good. I don't feel like
Well, we'll get to the science behind, obviously the wormholes, the black holes, all this stuff. So they go into cryosleep, and 2 years later, they finally get out of cryosleep, and they are at Saturn.
I just want to say I love
that
the
was
idea
2
of
years.
a
That was-
hibernation. It took them 2 years to get to Saturn.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I love the idea of a hibernation.
Is that the thing?
Just
that
a
they
good
zipped up
nap.
in and
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I figured that's what it was, or something along those lines, but I
Talk
didn't know it was 2 years.
talk about a fat nap. That'd be great. Like, so at this point, we also are seeing everyone talk to, all of the people on the spaceship. We get to Cooper's, and it's only Tom that is talking to him, and Tom is telling him how great he's doing in school and how he's graduating soon and how he met this amazing girl that he's in love with. And then John Lithgow's character, Cooper's father-in-law, comes in and says, Murph doesn't want to talk. Murph isn't up for it. We'll talk later. And it's not like this is FaceTime. These are just videos being sent from
Right, sure,
Earth to
right.
send over.
Yes.
And they obviously have this other way of doing it where they can send it to Earth as well. So it's really sad to see how this all is, how like fast time flies for Cooper, how he's trying to avoid time passing, and it's all flashing before his eyes, and he doesn't realize it until the end of the film.
I mean, Murph can hold a grudge.
Murph
That
held
girl,
a grudge.
She can do it. Good for her.
It was like 30 or 40 years. It was 30 years that she
Yeah.
held that grudge.
Yeah.
Or, well, she was 30 years old, so she'd be 20. Or
So
it'd
20
be 20 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So they go through this wormhole, and this is where we are getting all the science-y aspect to it. So there's this weird distortion between space and time through this, black hole wormhole area. And we get the first handshake with Anne Hathaway and this weird distortion of time, and you can kind of see a hand there, but it's very like off-putting at first when you're first watching, and you're like, okay, that's weird. I mean, obviously until the end you get to it.
Yeah.
So they finally go and they near these planets. They're supposed to go to these planets near Gargantua, which is this giant wormhole or giant black hole that is just sucking up all these planets. And this is where most of our 12 scientists are. So I'm going to go real quick into the science. I only have it on Wikipedia. I'm not a scientist. I'm going to clarify this right now. If I say something wrong, I don't care. I don't care. So they did end up having a physicist, a theoretical physicist on the development and the writing. Oh my gosh, where is it? His name is Kip Thorne. He worked with Nolan and Christopher Nolan, and the writers of this film wanted there to be less realism, and he wanted more realism. So that's where we're getting a lot of your scientific accuracies of this film, is because he sat there and walked them through on how to make this the most realistic way possible, because something like this could happen to Earth. We don't know yet. So when they're traveling through the wormhole or around the black hole, you're seeing the science based on Einstein's general relativity equations. And early on in the process, Kip Thorne, who was the physicist, laid down 2 guidelines. First, that nothing would violate established physical laws, and second, that all wild speculations would spring from science and not from the fertile mind of a screenwriter.
Well, good for him.
So we can go into that obviously later on, what the perceptions of new scientific things being brought up was. So Nolan accepted these terms as long as they did not interfere with making the film. Obviously, it didn't. At one point, though, Thorne spent 2 weeks arguing with Nolan out of having a character traveling faster than light before Nolan finally gave up on the idea.
Like it can't be done?
It can't be done, yeah.
Okay. I mean, if the guy's telling you it can't be done.
Yeah, then don't do it.
Yeah.
So to create the visual effects for the wormhole in a rotating supermassive black hole, Thorne collaborated with another scientist and a team of 30 people I don't think it's a scientist. I think that's one of the effects people. Collaborated with Franklin, who's probably an effects person, and a team of 30 people at Double Negative, providing pages of deeply sourced theoretical equations to the engineers, who then wrote new CGI rendering software based on these equations to create accurate simulations of the gravitational lensing caused by this phenomenon. So he sat down with 30 people to give them these equations, and they then took that and used that in CGI to create these accurate looking effects for these planets.
That's too much smarts.
It's way too much smarts.
I mean, that's where your $165 million budget's going.
Jesus Christ.
Holy cow.
Well, and here is another thing where budget and time is a huge thing. Some individual frames of the film took hundreds of hours to render, totaling 800 terabytes of data, just based off of that CGI for the
Lord.
black hole.
I mean, it looks cool.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But
would the film have been as successful with...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I know. If it wasn't as scientifically accurate, I still think it would be successful.
So you think it was more based on the storytelling instead of the visual?
I would say the visuals are definitely the big thing in this film.
Okay.
The visuals and the sound is like the big thing, but I think storytelling as well. It's the storytelling of this is very Quentin Tarantino-esque. Like, you have all these separate things going on, and they all connect together. That's just what it reminds me of. I mean, Pulp Fiction, at least, and Reservoir Dogs is kind of like that too. But that's just where like my mind was coming from, was like, all this writing is well done. It's a little mindfucky, but like the science behind it too just reiterates how well done this film is.
Sure.
And how they were they actually had people on the teams to help make sure that this was scientifically accurate, and I think that just elevates the storytelling even more, and I think makes it more relatable too.
Okay.
So Nolan was initially concerned that a scientifically accurate depiction of a black hole would not be visually comprehensible to the audience and would require the effects team to unrealistically alter its appearance. But that didn't happen.
Well, good.
The visual representation of the black hole in the film does not account for the Doppler effect, which, if you guys are Big Bang Theory fans...
Yep. Well, I was thinking of Big Bang when they were talking about, like, physicists and all this other stuff, and, like, I'm like, oh, I got Big Bang Theory vibes for a minute, but...
That's basically... Imagine putting not just Howard up in space, but, like, all of them up in space trying to figure out solutions to save humanity.
Now that would be kind of fun.
That'd be a fun, like, little spin-off show.
Not so serious.
So, according to Space.com, which I don't know how good that is, the portrayal of what a wormhole would look like is scientifically correct. Rather than two-dimensional holes in space, is depicted as a sphere showing distorted view of the target galaxy. So that's the big scientific stuff that we see in this film. That's all I'm going to talk about science-wise.
Okay.
I'm going to
Like,
walk away from
the wormhole. Is wormhole and time travel kind of the same thing? Like
it.
Like a hyperspace
Yeah,
type situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kind of got like, I'm like, is it a wormhole? Is it time travel? Is it
Like,
both?
I don't think it's a wormhole in that you're not going to a different dimension. It's a wormhole to get you from point A to point B quickly.
Yes. So the difference between the wormhole and the black hole here is the wormhole is like how they said is a sphere that'll just take you from one thing to another. It's like in Star Trek, Star Wars, where they're like, we're going to go hyperspeed, and it goes like that, and they end up to a new place.
That was Star Wars. That was in the Millennium Falcon.
Well,
and
it could have.
hyperspace.
It was probably also Star Trek. I don't know. Could be. I've watched 2 episodes of Star Trek.
I've never seen.
Oh my God.
Star Trek, but
Oh my God, I watched the old 70s version for a class once.
Star Trek beams. They beam people
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so instead of doing that fast travel hyperspeed way, they go through the wormholes, and that's their way of like doing fast travel. But the black holes, because which is what we're going to get into here, is Miller's planet is the first one we're going to, but the black hole is so big that they have the time is being sped up because it's going into this black hole, like taking away the time, taking away, space and stuff like that. So that's because the planet is so close to the black hole, time is speeding up faster and faster, which is scientifically correct as far as I know.
Yeah.
And as far as anyone else knows. I'm not a scientist. Couldn't tell you. But they're talking about going to Miller's planet, and that is the one that they first go to, where it is time is 1 hour is 7 years. And that throws Cooper off, and he's like, I don't want to do it. We've got no time to go in there and come back and humanity be alive, which is understandable. Like,
Yeah. 1 hour equals 7 years back on Earth. That's crazy.
it's hard to perceive and like think about in that sense. So they said in order to preserve time and gas, they've got to loop all the way around at a specific point where, like, how in the solar system we're going in an oval.
Yeah.
So that's what it basically is that they have, this planet's going around in an oval, and when it hits a point where it's far enough away, they'll go down, grab the data, grab Miller, come back. Obviously, this doesn't work because they land in the planet, and the planet is all water.
Yeah.
And there are giant 1,000-foot waves that are coming towards them. But to them, it looks like mountains because, it does look like mountains. But the one thing I wanted to note was, I don't know if you guys knew this, where there's clicking that goes on in the background, and that's time passing.
Oh.
So that constant clicking that's going on.
Each click is a day on Earth.
Jesus.
So
and it clicks like every 1.25 seconds, it says.
It's something crazy, but immediately once they land, that clicking immediately starts. You're not getting that cool, like, time, like that cool music, that score and stuff. You're getting that where it's building the anxiety of they don't have so much time. This is how fast they got to go. So they go, and Cooper's sitting in the ship ready to grab them, go. Right. And Dr. Brand goes and tries to grab the data because, obviously
that's what they're there for.
That's what they're there for. They want to get Dr. Miller, but Dr. Miller obviously is dead because the entire spaceship is underwater. They're going to grab the data to make sure that they know at least how gravity works. That is their big thing, and to make sure that they can find a viable planet if they can for their colony that they're going to do. It's very white, I guess. White person colonization.
Oh, okay.
I was sitting there. I was like, colonization. We're gonna colonize another planet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, Brand gets stuck underneath the ship. She's still trying to get this dang data out, and they've got to leave because they find out that these mountains are 1,000-foot waves. And Doyle is Wes Bentley.
Wes Bentley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have him marked as one of my favorite characters.
Really?
Yeah.
He was come and gone pretty fast.
Yeah, he was really fast.
Okay.
I know, but I liked him because I don't know. I just brought me back to American Beauty a little bit, and you know he saved her pretty much. Like,
Well,
yeah, sure.
so Tars goes in to go grab her from the ship,
Yes.
and they go, and Tars goes and grabs her. They get to the ship, and Doyle's just running, trying to keep up in this
Yeah.
water with a robot who can turn into a circular object to walk, like get himself over from point A to point B.
If he could do that, why didn't he do that initially and just go get
grab the
data
and go.
himself?
You would think, right?
Yeah.
But that would make it too easy.
You're right. Okay. Well, now we got no story.
Also, he doesn't have any hands, so I don't know how he'd be able to grab it.
Well, he had like those two little arm-looking things because he carried her.
But you'd have to get like the actual stuff.
Okay. You're right. Okay.
I feel like it would be Tars and someone else would have to go with and go grab it and he'd go back. But so Doyle is trying to keep up. He is so interested in these waves because you know how ominous are these giant waves, trying to get in at the same time, and he gets swept away by the water. And rest in peace, Doyle.
Yeah. He was short-lived. How were you feeling up to this point in the movie? Like,
because this is about the halfway point.
Yeah. Were you like, holy cow?
I was still on board. I still got it.
And you understood that while they were gone.
Then they went back, and then the other scientist, it was like a long time.
Romilly, yeah.
Yeah, So I got lost after Dr. Mann.
Well, yeah, we can.
So
we'll break it down.
That motherfucker.
He's my least favorite character.
You think?
But I was surprised. I'm like, Matt Damon. Oh my God.
I was like, here's this Matt Damon motherfucker.
Oh my God, I hate him.
Oh,
yeah, he's a dick. So,
yeah, okay.
But anyway.
So water got into the ship's engines. They've got to sit there for 45 minutes to an hour to let the engines dry off. And at that point, that's when the math starts hitting Dr. Brand that Miller only died minutes before they got there based off of how time goes on this planet.
Yes.
So it's a little weird to think about, but it's minutes to the world, this planet, but it's not minutes to them. It's years for them.
Right.
And then
because the thing I read said essentially that wave that you see going away was the wave that killed Miller.
Brand. Yeah. Or Miller, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Brand says, we can't get back in time. This is like, there's so much that's happening and, we're stuck on this planet. And by the time we get back, it's going to be so long. And it's all setting in for Dr. Brand that this was the worst thing that they could do was grab this data. So finally, another wave is coming. It's been probably like an hour at this point, or like close to 45 minutes to an hour. They still had some of the engine wasn't as dried off as they wanted it to be. So they go and they were struggling to leave, but they left. And then we end this scene on Doyle's dead body floating in the water.
Yeah.
Which is very devastating, but it's very interesting to see how harsh this planet is just for someone for like a few minutes to them. Just my thought.
No.
They get back onto the spaceship and they find out by Romilly, who's been on the spaceship, who's been there trying to collect data for the gravity, that it's been 23 years and he only did cryosleep here and there. He didn't do it the entire time. He wanted to try to get as much data as he possibly could. But there's only so much he could get from the data from being outside of the black hole. He needed to be inside it.
Yeah.
And he only took a few naps, which is just cryosleep. And then, we see his graying beard and hair, and Brand is so devastated because they haven't aged at all.
Yeah.
At all.
It's been an hour.
Yeah, it's been...
2 years.
2
2 years to get to Saturn.
Right.
To-
But they were on Miller's planet for about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more than that.
Yeah.
Or a little less than that. So then we see Cooper goes and looks at all the video messages he acquired throughout these 23 years.
Oh, boy. Now, you didn't cry during this?
You didn't-
No,
oh
I
my-
thought I would, but I didn't.
This is
I
cry number
know.
2 for me.
This is where Matthew McConaughey got robbed.
Yeah.
So he's looking at the video messages and he sees that Tom has graduated and Tom and his wife have a kid together. And then the next video message is Tom crying because his wife had died. And so did John Lithgow's character, his
Yeah.
father-in-law. So this breaks.
I think his wife didn't die.
His wife died because his wife was Jessie.
No, Jesse was the baby.
Oh, was it the baby?
Sorry.
So it was his kid that
I'm
died.
so sorry.
No, you're good.
I threw a wrench right in.
It was a son.
It was his son. No,
It was the
thanks
baby.
for the
Yeah.
clarification
Yeah.
because I thought it was
Well,
his
Aaron
wife.
Cooper, was that his wife?
Yeah, she.
Mentioned as having died from a brain cyst years prior.
That was
Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey's
McConaughey's wife.
wife.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're finding out that John Lithgow's character dies as well. This is where
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey cries. And then it gets worse because Murph pops up and he sees that Murph has aged and it breaks his heart so much. She does a message on the day that she turned the same age as him, which is the day he promised he would be back. And it breaks his heart. And this is
Boy,
hard to watch.
it is. It's hard to even talk about.
Yeah.
No?
I mean,
Nothing?
I guess I'm sold. I mean, it was emotional-ish, I guess. I
Well-
mean, I don't know.
No, you're okay.
I think it's just because he had promised her all these, he promised he'd be back. Maybe you and I would be the same age by the time I get back, and it'd be weird, but we'll figure it out. Isn't
Yeah.
that so cool? And it's the fact that this is Murph's first message to him is the day that she turned the same age as him,
Right.
Yeah.
and that, and how his denial is finally being turned and being oh my God, this is reality.
Yeah.
I really messed up by coming here.
Okay, yeah.
I think this is where
that's-
he hits that point of I messed up. I shouldn't have come here.
Yeah. I agree.
He missed out on everything.
He did.
Yeah, he missed out on his grandkid, his son getting married. He missed his daughter growing up, and his daughter was young. He didn't really raise his kids after a certain point, and
But
that
he's trying to save humanity.
Uh,
Which direction do you go?
I mean, it's a catch-22. If he does save humanity, he's a hero. If he doesn't,
but we find out
he's
later.
he's a deadbeat dad. So
I mean, we find out later. Obviously,
He
we'll
does.
get to that point.
okay.
But then we go straight into Murph's point of view.
Yes.
Which is so interesting because this is where we see that she is the Professor Brand's mentee and is learning all of this science stuff because she's going to be the person to take on the rest of, this research and try to save the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's very hard for her to come to terms with everything that is happening and how, she's finally sitting in that room to go and send a message. And,
Yeah.
Professor Brand is I'd never have seen you in here. And I think that's also a really hard part to watch is that she only did it that one time. We also have the debate on, are we going to go to Edmund's planet or are we going to go to
Yes.
Man's planet? And
Yes.
this is where we find out that Dr. Brand was madly in love with Dr. Edmund this entire time, and she wants to go to Edmund's planet, even though there's no data, or the data stopped, but his data's promising. But
Yeah.
in her mind, it's so that she can go and see if he's actually alive.
Right.
But the other promising data and the closer data is Dr. Man's planet.
Oh man.
So we go to Man's planet and we find out that he is alive.
I mean, well, they essentially outvoted her because, because she was in love with him.
Yeah.
They kind of were just no.
No, and Man's data is much more promising to go to. It's right
Yes.
there.
It's closer.
It's closer. They get there, and it's an all ice planet.
Oh, Matt Damon.
Oh, Matt Damon. So they go to and find Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. So we go and find Dr. Man's planet, who's played by Matt Damon. And he was in cryo sleep for years as well, and wakes up, and he just is so emotional because he hasn't seen humans in so long.
Yeah.
And, you know, he goes and creates this intense story about how he, you know, found viable life underneath the surface of this planet, and how we can do this, we can manage this, we can get everyone here, we can create our colony here. So he takes Cooper with on to go show him all this, while everyone else stays back to go and look at the data that Dr. Mann has to to make sure that everything is viable.
Yeah.
And just do double checks. And this is where we're cutting back and forth between Earth and Dr. Mann. But we find out that Dr. Mann lied on his data, and he only did it so that he can have human interaction, because he hasn't had any humans, seen any humans, had any interactions at all. And he was so alone, and he took the cowardly move to fake his data to ensure that if people did see it, he would actually have someone come back and grab him, and they can go back to Earth.
I mean, this son of a bitch.
Yes.
Liar.
And in the midst of this, Cooper is piecing this all together.
Yeah.
And Mann tries to kill Dr. Cooper. And by doing that, he smashes his helmet into Cooper's helmet. And the air, according to Mann, we don't know how reliable of a character he is that
Sure.
the air of this planet is ammonia. And ammonia, let's be real, it's going to kill you if you breathe it.
Yeah.
So he was trying to kill Cooper to hide the fact that that's all that he was going to do, was just get people to save him.
Yeah.
So we cut back and forth between Murph and Tom burning, Murph and Topher Grace's character.
Oh, yeah.
Burning Tom's crops. Topher Grace's character is named Getty. I just have been calling him Topher Grace because...
Well, did they ever say his name? Because it was just like he popped up and there he was. And
apparently his name's Getty. Murph's
Okay.
colleague and love interest.
Love interest.
Love
Yeah.
interest.
he didn't have a whole heck of a lot to do in this, but
I still liked his character.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was fun.
He was there. He did what she told him to, and that's really his only job.
That's right. He listened.
Yep.
So at this point, you know, we're finding out that Murph is trying to get Tom's family away from him because, you know, they're dying. They are breathing in all this bad air.
Yeah.
It is affecting their lungs. They're going to be dead. So that's why they burned the crops, is to distract Tom to go and take care of the fire while they go and grab his wife and kid to go and leave and take him to NASA.
I'm gonna say that wife left her husband awfully fast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you said your son's dying, at the very least, I think Murph should have said, at least let me take your kid. At least let me take. You're not gonna leave, fine. At least let me take your kid.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, and so this like coughing has, you know,
Yeah.
caused Murph to worry about, you know, how sick these guys. This actually is affecting everyone. Like it's this. I think this is the turning point for Murph, realizing that this is happening right now, and they need to figure their shit out
Right.
and figure out this science, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
This is where Professor Brand is in the hospital. We get the poem Go Gently into the Darkness, or
Yeah.
that one that is said multiple times throughout this that, you know, Professor Brand says. And this is where we find out that he lied to Murph and lied to Cooper and lied to everyone else on that mission about needing Cooper. He never needed Cooper, and that the journey was all a sham, and that plan B of putting a colony on a different planet was plan A all along.
Yeah.
And nobody and that he'd already figured out the science and that there's no way that they can get the spaceship up into space, and that was their last hope, and that nobody else knew that this was happening besides Dr. Mann.
Ugh.
So when we go back to Dr. Mann's planet, apparently also the days there are 67 hours long and the nights are 67 hours long.
That was crazy. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that
you would think that the days would get like super hot.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're facing the sun for 67 hours. And then the nights would get super cold.
But if you're so far away from the sun.
Well, the nights are so cold because they're also 67 hours. That's probably why it's ice.
I mean, if you...
Sorry. We should not be discussing the scientific.
But, oh, no, absolutely not. But I'm thinking of like Neptune and like Uranus. Like they are considered ice planets too. So I would assume it's like that where they're so far away from their sun where there's not going to be any viable life there.
Yeah.
Again, not a scientist. We shouldn't be discussing this.
We shouldn't be discussing this. We're only this to the professionals. How are you with this then? Like, were you surprised that Michael Caine just lied to everybody? And
no, not really, because there's always got to be like one shady twist or secret or something.
I mean, there was multiple in this one little section.
Yeah, with Dr. Mann and all that, but like I don't know. I figured like everybody always has something up their sleeve. You know?
Yeah.
You can't trust anybody. That's my thing. So
that's her takeaway from this entire film. Don't trust anyone.
You don't trust anybody.
Don't trust a hoe.
Don't trust scientists.
Don't trust scientists.
No, trust scientists. Just not Dr. Mann.
I am kidding. Trust
Dr. Mann.
Scientists. Trust
and I'm over here
scientists,
quoting a song.
Dr. Mann is like the audacity of Dr. Mann.
The audacity of him. Also,
he's Dr. Death.
Also, it's very selfish of him to send his daughter up there, not telling her anything, knowing that she would be the person to do this and ensuring she would live.
Yeah.
It's very selfish of him.
Yes. Yeah, because it's like, well, his species
his line is gonna continue.
Yes, it's gonna propagate. But Cooper's, well, I guess not really. But the children Cooper does have are left there.
Yeah, everyone else is screwed. So this is the point where Mann tries to kill Cooper, and that this is also where we're cutting back over to Earth, where Tom punches Topher Grace's character in the face for preventing him from getting and like trying to take his wife and stuff. Yeah. And at the same time, Murph is upstairs grabbing some of her old stuff from when she was a kid, because when she was a kid, she would write down stuff in her journals and all this stuff. And things are getting put into place for her.
Yeah.
Going back to Dr. Mann's planet, this highly sadistic man character is, killing Cooper, and Cooper is trying to call for someone to come help him because something's wrong. So Brandon Tars hop in the ship and go and grab Cooper to make sure that, everything is fine, that like the data isn't like there's nothing wrong, all this stuff. And then Murph is burning the crops too. So it's just a lot of back and forth at this point.
Yeah.
And this is where Mann has walked close to his old, compound, and they are up in the air, and Romilly blows up because Mann rigged his robot to self-destruct if anyone tried to get to the data, the correct data.
Yeah.
Poor
Romilly.
Poor Romilly.
Right?
Lived all that time alone. Probably had to be going out of his mind.
Yeah.
He finally gets to see some people and speak to some people. Immediately gets blown up.
Yeah. He was the one that got wronged at this point.
Yes.
And then Mann steals one of the ships, to go up to the traveling one. These are like little pods, basically. And he attempts to dock the plane, even though they are telling him, do not dock the plane, do not dock the plane. You don't know how to do it. Like, they're warning him that.
Well, they locked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that he couldn't do such a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
didn't stop him.
You know, we're going back over to Murph, finding her watch, and it's incorrectly reading the time, and you see it just bouncing back and forth from the hands and stuff.
Yeah.
We see later what it is. Gonna skip past this part. Man ends up blowing the spaceship up because he didn't close the hatch correctly, and everything gets sucked into the air. This is also where we see more silence, but this one's like, it's so loud and the humming is crazy, and then it's just like immediately changes to, it's great.
It's pretty good.
So they are warned not to dock the ship. They go and try to dock it anyways, because Cooper is Cooper, and he's gonna try to get himself to his kids. God damn it!
That's right.
He's gonna Tom Cruise Top Gun this plane.
Oh yeah, and this is where Tars is the one that says, it's not possible. And Cooper goes, no, it's necessary. And I think that is the most dramatic line of the entire.
It was a little cheesy.
It was very cheesy. I think that's the only cheesy
I agree
line in this film, but it's so funny. So they get onto the spaceship that has been blown up, and they are trying to figure out how to get home. And Cooper comes up with the idea of going around Gargantua and being thrust like a slingshot to get away from the black hole and to try to get as close to home as possible. And the thing is that there is a caveat with this plan. There's too much weight on the ship to slingshot them around. And so the idea was to have Tars detach, and that Brand would still have a robot and Cooper would still have a robot. It would be Case. But then Cooper goes and starts to get into a pod to detach so that there's even less weight, so that at least Dr. Brand had a robot with her to have to be able to send information, to have some other kind of artificial being there with her. And so this is where we get into the whole black hole stuff, where Cooper ejects and falls toward something that we see as a 5-dimensional or 3-dimensional world universe that these apparent 5-dimensional beings have created. But it's the other side of Murph's bookshelf.
That's what it's like. I'm like, that's her books. He's in her books.
He's the ghost.
He's the ghost.
He's in the wall. He's in her books, which, visually I thought that was really cool.
So is this where you get thrown off?
I got thrown off like I said, after the Dr. Man, and then you're talking about the pods and the weights and detaching and black holes. I was lost. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, he's in the books.
He is the ghost. Yeah. So scientifically, obviously, we don't know if this is what an actual black hole looks like. But, oh my gosh, Neil deGrasse Tyson is the one who came out and was like, it looks visually well done and stuff. We obviously don't know what is in black holes. And this is a good guess on how black holes can bend space, bend time, and, even go back into the past if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Which is very, obviously interesting from him. And this is where we find out he was the ghost the whole time, where he's trying to communicate to Murph in different years of her life and different times. And this is also where Murph finds out that it was Cooper, or has an idea that it was him, because she ends up going outside to Tom after and says, he did it, he's alive, we'll be okay. Like, just giving herself that satisfaction of it was okay this entire time.
Yeah.
And then Tars comes through his, the audio or his mic, and says that these 5-dimensional beings are helping them out, and they made it easy for Cooper to see time as a physical dimension. That's as far as I could get from that.
Right.
I obviously not a scientist. This is a little mindfucky, but
A little.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is where Cooper figures out that it wasn't five-dimensional beings. It was him that brought him there the entire time.
Right.
And that Murph is the reason that they're going to save the world. And that all of this data, that he's trying to get all of this data onto the watch for gravity, because since TARS is in the black hole, they can solve this final equation for gravity, and that he is sending it via Morse code.
How long would that take?
A lot.
I know.
But
I mean, I guess that's why she's so old at the end of it.
I think it's long for him, but I don't think it's long for her, because where he is at time-wise, it is a constant loop for him, that same time. So no matter what, she would get to that point at some time on Earth. So it's like time-wise, to figure out the science of it, as long as she's got that part done, that's the part where the engineers just need to go in and do the things they need to do. And so the beings and the black hole end up transporting him back through to, Saturn is what is assumed, because he ends up seeing that he's outside of this black hole. And after this whole entire treacherous journey, he is close to home. We see that he wakes up in a hospital bed.
Yes.
And he's on Cooper Station. But it's not named after him, because
That's so funny.
Because he's like, "Oh, you guys named it after me? That's so nice." And they're like, "No, it's not named after you. It's named after your daughter." And he's like, "Oh, okay then." And he just lets it go.
Yeah.
That one was a really funny part where he's being a little selfish there.
No, I enjoy it.
And we find out that Cooper has been gone for so long. He's 124 years old.
Wow.
But he looks the same.
Because he's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does look good.
It's the same as if it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. They would try to do the same.
Well, and then that's where it goes back to the whole death thing. It's like he looks the same when he left, like he died.
Yeah.
Nothing changed with him.
Mm-mm. But everything changed.
The world carried on without him.
Yeah.
And he got to see that in a way through the videos and all of that. Yeah. Which, again, that's why I kind of had like the whole like death thing. Like life went on without him.
Life went on without him. And it was just he was just there to.
And he got to see some of that. And the people he left behind did not get to see him anymore.
And it's a little sad too, because I feel like he did not get the recognition he deserved, because he is the reason why they are on that station. I think Murph gave him the recognition, and that one guy who was touring him around the station gave him that recognition, but I don't think he got as much of the flowers as he kind of deserved, because they wouldn't be there without him and the data he gave to her.
Okay. But at the time, he's not there. She's just saying, "I know my dad's sending me this information in a watch." You'd be like, "You're out of your mind, lady."
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're Tom, who's like, "Dude, you're fucking nuts. Right. You've been stuck on dad for years."
Yes, let him go, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And then the whole ghost before, when he was there present, and the whole ghost, again, goes back to the whole death part of it,
Yeah.
like...
Well, another heartbreaking scene is when he did the stay with the books.
Yeah.
And he's just sobbing there. He's like, "Just stay, goddammit, stay." And that part breaks me too. Part number 3 where I cried.
Had he stayed, I mean, the planet would not have.
Yeah, would not have been saved.
Yeah. I mean, the planet was not saved.
No.
Humans would not have been saved.
Humanity.
I feel like but they even said that they didn't need Cooper for this mission, because no matter what, they were gonna get up into space somehow to colonize another planet.
Yeah.
So he wasn't needed this entire time. Dr. Brand was the person that needed to be up on that spaceship because she's a biologist and she can ensure that those eggs get.
Why did Professor Brand get him if he wasn't necessary?
I think he had hope that they could get that data, or even that those scientists could be they have to have someone set up the colony.
Yeah.
So I think those 4 scientists, you have one who's like a physicist, one's a biologist, and Cooper, who's an engineer, one of the best engineers. I think in his mind it's a hope that maybe this could happen, but also this was more of a plan. Cooper's mission was plan B, and plan A was to have a colony and ensure that humanity continues on and that they have the correct scientists to build that colony and that compound.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts.
I went a little shallower with that, where I just thought he really liked Cooper. He's like, maybe I'm going to send him up with my daughter and maybe something will happen there. And I trust him. I know he's a good pilot, so I know he's going to take care of my daughter.
And he's also an engineer.
And they're going to breed smart babies.
Yep. He's going to get her there safely.
Well, another thing is too with these eggs that they have is they solved eugenics with these eggs, is what was mentioned early on in the film. So there would be no issues with these babies or these eggs at all. Did you guys catch that? Where they talked about how they solved eugenics and basically to prevent any issue. I wouldn't say
so they
issues.
Would come out perfect, or
there's not
no disease or cancer cells.
Yeah, that's
that.
Or any mental illness, something like that. They had apparently, according to this, they had solved eugenics, where these are the 5,000 perfect eggs to repopulate a colony, to have human life survive, and that they know that this is going to happen because these are the eggs that they created and picked out. And
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a little fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no mental illness, which is,
I mean, yeah.
There's no cancer. There's no anything like Down syndrome or autism, or
I would argue there's no variety.
There's no variety. There's no, it's very, again, very white colonization, Nazi kind of, because Nazi Germany tried to solve eugenics.
Yeah.
That was their whole thing. They did it the wrong way. I would argue Dr. Brand and Professor Brand did it the right way.
If there is a right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the thing about these eggs, though, is that they knew that they could ensure that these eggs were.
I mean, I get they don't want to put all their eggs in this basket. Ha And then they get up there and then they find out that some of them are not viable, or, if you're going to send them, send your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to the end, though, Cooper's being walked around by this guy who says, I did a history paper on you in elementary school. But they pass by a plaque that is in memoriam of the Lazarus mission and the mission for all the 12 astronauts that were there. And it's got the quote, what is it? Go deep.
Do not go softly into the... Do not go gentle into
go gentle into that dark night.
Yeah.
That whole poem is shown one last time. And we go back to the beginning with the interviews, where they are going to, the house is recreated on this planet to be a museum of Murph's life, as well as interviews of what life used to be like on Earth and why they are there on that spaceship. And they go in there into this museum, and it's exactly how it's placed. And they say that Cooper can live there because it's home for him. That's all he's known, besides this spaceship that he lived on for
a couple years.
Oh, a couple is wild. 80? If he's in his 30s or 40s?
Yeah, but he lost 20 of them on the planet.
Yeah.
And then most of the time he lost was when he was in that hole.
Yeah.
Not in anything.
Yeah.
Just free flying through space.
Free falling?
Oh, yeah, it could be.
Yeah, there you go. He goes up, there's a tarp there. It ends up being Tars. Tars was saved, arguably the best character of the film besides Murph. Oh, because the entire film he's like, oh, honesty, 90%.
Yeah.
Comedy, 75%, or humor, 75%. And Cooper just bring that down every single time he said a joke, which was so funny. And then we find out that Murph was in cryo sleep waiting for Cooper to come back this entire time because she knew he would come back, but she's still down on Earth or on another station. She needs to be transported back over here. And she goes and is on her deathbed. She woke up knowing that the time she woke up, she would be dying, but wanted to see her dad one last time. And Cooper goes in there, and it is the most heartbreaking thing where he is younger than his own daughter. And she's like, you shouldn't have to watch your own child die. I can be with my family right now. And lets him go. Finally, he lets her go.
Okay, I find this was a little weird to me. First of all, at no point, if he asked about Tom, we didn't hear about it.
No.
Yeah. Fuck Tom in his eyes.
I mean, poor Tom.
Tom also was a dick at the end of the film when the last time he was shown was hitting Topher Grace.
I'm guessing Tom felt stresses that we didn't know about. He's trying to feed the earth and take care of his family. Yeah. Should he have listened to his sister who is smarter than he is? Yes, he should have. Okay. But Cooper didn't ask about him.
No.
Didn't ask about, these are your children, my grandchildren.
These are my grandchildren, or these are my great-grandchildren.
However many. Didn't ask about anybody else in that room.
So maybe who she actually
had the kids
with. Is it Getty? Is it Topher Grace's character?
I guess we're supposed to assume that, right? Are we supposed to assume it was I did assume it was. It was not specified that I'm aware of.
It's not specified for sure. We can infer that it was probably with him because the last time we see him is with her, and she says, Eureka, throws the papers and goes and kisses him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of assumed, but we don't have a for sure moment.
Well, we could also guess that maybe because it took her a couple weeks to get there out of her cryo sleep, maybe he met all those people and
he's like, oh, hey guys, nice to meet you.
Maybe
he's dead.
Or maybe he's dead. And she's going to meet him at this other
people are speaking to him.
That's so true. Oh, you haven't watched The Good Place? They're all speaking to each other there.
Okay. I love The Good Place.
That's such a good. But this is where Murph tells Cooper that Brand is still alive, and that Cooper needs to go find her. And at the end, we see Dr. Brand on another planet. It's Edmund's planet, and he's buried because he had died, and that's what the loss of data had been. And it is Dr. Brand establishing this colony on this other planet, and it ends there.
Dun, dun, dun.
What do you guys think that this was set up for a sequel?
Okay, that's what I was just going to ask you. Do you know if there's talk of a sequel?
No. I don't think there's ever talk of a sequel.
I mean, because it's absolutely set up for a sequel.
Oh, yeah. We could do a sequel.
I mean, it's set up to be done. I don't know that it will be done. Or that it even needs to be done.
Arguably, I would say it doesn't need to be done.
Yeah, I would say no.
Yeah. So I have a few questions.
Okay.
Would you go on that flight to go and save the Earth?
No.
No? I wouldn't in my wildest dreams either.
No, absolutely not.
You're going in to go and save the Earth, but it's all riding on you trying to save all of these people.
Cobie, I don't want to get on an airplane most days. I mean, I will if I gotta. I don't like it, but I will.
Gee, I gotta take Dramamine first. It's a whole lot of Dramamine if I'm getting on that spaceship. I'm gonna tell you.
Oh my gosh, one time we were going in for a landing, and I turned to Carrie and started talking to her, and she just grabbed my hand and just said, "Don't talk right now." And I was like, okay.
Yep. Yep.
I wouldn't do it just because I have a fear of space.
I wouldn't leave my kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't have kids, but I wouldn't leave my dog. I'm sure you would agree
God,
there.
No, I'm not leaving my dogs.
Yeah. But you are the person that's commissioned to do this. So that was my like big question of would you go on this mission knowing the outcome you would have? Like not like go into like Cooper's shoes. Like you know that you'll be back sometime. You don't know how, don't know when. But this is to save the world and to colonize a new planet.
I'm not.
You know how I feel about kids.
Oh,
no,
God.
I'm staying home.
I'm not equipped to do what he did mentally or physically.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
No. There.
And I think part of it was also, like at one point Cooper said that he's an adventurer. He likes to go on the adventure.
When he's on the farm, he
Yes.
says that where he's like,
Yes.
I'm stuck here farming and
I'm not an adventurer. I'd love to just be at that house all the time.
drinking a beer like he was at the end.
I would.
Sweeping the dust off the porch. And...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to leave my house.
I don't want to leave.
I don't.
So okay, Carrie, now that you know that obviously you watched the film and stuff and we kind of describe, how are your feelings on this film?
Well, like I kind of gave it like 3.5 stars out of 5. I thought the visuals were really, really good. I liked the wave part of it. The wall of books. I thought that was pretty awesome. I liked the dad-daughter storyline part of it. And again, like I said, when he was watching the videos of them growing up back home, seeing his son grow up and have a family, it was cool that he still got to experience life back on Earth, even though he wasn't there. It's like I said, I just got lost after the whole Dr. Man ice planet thing, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? But
Man screwed him.
Overall, it was okay. I mean, I'll have to try to watch it again, and I will try to, like I said, I tried watching it before I came here, but my Paramount was just stupid. So, I made some notes throughout us recording about the score, which I kind of vaguely remember, but I didn't really tune in too much with the score, and then the clicking on the water planet. So, I will go back and rewatch it just to pick up some stuff, because like you said, the third time for you, it got better and better.
Like, okay, so if the first time was a 3.5, okay, we'll go out of 10 for mine.
Okay.
If the first time was a 5, the second was a 7. And this was probably a 9.5. Like,
Really?
it's getting better.
It gets better each time you watch it.
And not at a slow line like this, but like a whoop, it's swooping up. It's getting better and better and better.
I mean, honestly,
sorry, but I think it's because I understand more
now that
what
you've seen
did
it.
happen, what I'm seeing when I see it, what that is, like when you see her touch that thing in outer space, it's actually him from when he's inside that wormhole thing.
Yeah.
Do I understand all of the science behind it? Absolutely not.
No. But
I accept it for what it is.
But it's interesting because it is, a lot of people are like, maybe this is what happens. Obviously, in a black hole, we obviously don't know. I could agree with you that every time I rewatch it, it's really good. I also...
How many times have you seen it?
Maybe like 6 or 7 times.
Holy
I think
shit.
this might have been my 8th.
Jesus Christ.
But
I can't see myself watching this thing 8 times. No.
I watched it like, I think I've watched it like once a year or like twice a year since like first seeing it.
Yeah, like I said, I'll have to watch it again at some point, and I will be sober during it. I don't know if I'll understand it then either, but we'll find out.
I mean, I think it's an issue of like, I don't understand it, the science behind it, what they're trying, like what they're doing, how they're doing it, but understanding what's happening and why it's happening, it makes it better,
Last question, like we did the last time I did this.
Yes.
Was it artsy fartsy? Or was it more aimed toward a general audience that can go in there?
I want to say it was more visually appealing for those people that want that kind of movie with the visuals and the sound and everything
That's
like
me.
Yeah.
Artsy fartsy on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being like super artsy fartsy, I would say this was like maybe a 3.
3.
Yeah.
Was it better than?
And maybe it was the storyline part of it. And I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't really necessarily call it too artsy. It was just like, what?
I wonder, the next time you watch it, let us know so that we can come back around and we can ask your thoughts on it again, because your thoughts do change the next few times after you watch it.
Before we record again our next recording, I will watch it again before then, and we can do a pre-talk about it.
I just want to know your thoughts on it after you rewatch it, because now you're going to go into it knowing what's happening, because you can pick up the small things.
The only research I did ahead of time was watching the trailer. I didn't deep dive into Wikipedia or IMDb. Like I said, I'm like, holy fuck, Matt Damon. Hey, what's up? Like I didn't do any research.
Hey, what's up, Matt Damon?
Yeah. So, and then after talking with you and, and with Christie saying it gets better every time. So, yeah, I'll watch it again. Like I said, I really wanted to watch it today before we recorded, but I got like the first 10 minutes and that it just kept dropping out and dropping out. So something was going on with my Paramount Plus. But anywho, yeah.
Is there any other thoughts, comments?
I don't know.
I mean, I love Matthew McConaughey. I mean, I love a lot of his work, especially True Detective, the first season, obviously. Like,
I just watched that this week.
For the first time?
No, second time.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say Dallas Buyers Club's good, too.
Dallas Buyers Club is really good.
I've not seen that.
Are you kidding me? Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
But, I mean, I enjoy a good Matthew McConaughey movie, and not that it was terrible. I was just, I don't know. I was expecting a little something else than what it was. Like I say, when it first started and the whole documentary aspect of it, where they're interviewing, I was like, oh, I'm going to like this. It's telling the story.
Yeah.
And then it just went away. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you rewatch, you'll see the whole foreshadowing of the entire film is in those first 2 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's all right there.
Yeah. But like I said, my whole thought, again, it's almost like he died. He left his life basically on Earth, and he just took his body out in space. And I don't know, to me, it just reflected so much of like death almost. Like he didn't age at all, but yet he watched his children age and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and there's his daughter on her deathbed, and he hasn't aged since the last time she saw him. So it's almost like a ghost.
I didn't think of it as he died, but now that you're saying it, there's a lot of things that pick up, like where she's screaming and crying before he leaves, and the messages could be like thought of as like just talking to a person who passed away, of like, oh my gosh, like a normal thing.
Yeah.
So I could see that as a theory. Obviously none of these theories have been discussed by Christopher Nolan.
Right.
And
I didn't even know the whole death thing was a theory, honestly. Like I thought I was the only weirdo that thought like that, but
No, I took it at face value.
I took it at face value too.
That he was an astronaut in a spaceship.
Yeah. But now that you say that, I could see that throughout the film it could be perceived as that.
Yeah.
You had a thought?
Well, it's the issue that comes back to this movie is it's a great movie. I love to watch it. Unfortunately, to make such a great movie, it had to be as long as it was,
Yes.
which is the drawback to it.
Honestly,
I could see,
it was like 2 hours and 49 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Again, I paused and grabbed my sandwich and went potty a couple times with, but I didn't seem that bad to me.
I think,
But I did start it at like 4:30 in the afternoon, so.
Yeah.
I think just because there's so many different aspects to this film, it has to be
No,
almost
it
3
does.
hours.
To tell the story,
Well-
it has to be that long, but then that's also the drawback is that it's that long.
Anything else?
It was good.
It's good.
Well,
I was glad that Cobie gave us this opportunity for me to watch it again. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't know. It was. I'll watch it again. And like I said during this recording, I took notes on what to look out for the next time I watch it, and maybe I'll have a better understanding not that I didn't appreciate it, but I don't know, just maybe a better understanding of what was going on.
Yeah. I'll say the thing that from my first watch, the thing that stuck in my head the most was the whole time situation where they come back from Miller's Planet and it's been the 23 years. That's the part I will never forget
Yeah.
because that's just insane.
It's just devastating too with Matthew
Yes.
McConaughey
Yes.
or Cooper.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for Interstellar. It's surprisingly shorter than I thought we were going to talk about it for. It's less than 2 hours. And most of that are just random ramblings, and like 10 minutes of it is just the beginning discussion that we had.
Yes.
So we
About
didn't do a
cops.
3-hour podcast.
Some
on it.
intermittent Googling in the middle of it.
There'll definitely be some cutting, so definitely. But next week we have Carrie. We're going back to Carrie,
Going back
Swinging
to me.
around again.
Woohoo!
swinging around Gargantua, back over to Carrie.
Yeah. Welcome to this black hole. Jesus. So I have picked for our next movie On Golden Pond. I think we decided that we are going to try to pick movies where people can stream along with us.
Yeah.
This one, it looks like you can stream pretty much everywhere. Prime Video, Peacock, Tubi,
You should be able
Pluto
to find it.
TV,
You can rent it.
Roku channel. So yeah, On Golden Pond.
All right. Looking forward to it.
All right.
If anybody wants to email us, we have an email. It's realfamilypodcast@gmail.com. And then that real is REEL, Family Podcast.
You can find us on the social media platforms for Instagram and Facebook. And then you can find us anywhere you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah.
Apple, Spotify,
YouTube.
YouTube. We are on YouTube.
Yep.
All
Looking
right.
forward to next time.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.